First of all, I want to apologize for my English. It is not my first language and it is a little difficult for me to express myself. But I wanted to share this story that I experienced a few years ago. It was about 7 years ago. I was with my now ex on a trip through a very rural area of my country. We were not supposed to spend the night in a hotel, but that day it was raining a lot, which generated a lot of traffic, and he did not like to drive at night and even less with rain. The hotel was not that ugly. It was just told with a few small cabins in a service station in a place called Los Rapidos de Camoiran, which is a tourist place with a history of Indians with many legends and myths. Just behind near the cabin where we were was the river. At night they turn off all the lights, there are only candles in the rooms. And it was quite scary, to be honest. The place was very cold and foggy, you could hardly see in front of you. We went to sleep. There was not much to do without electricity. The room had 2 small beds and we lay down one in each bed. We came from a long trip and we just wanted to sleep comfortably. In the middle of the night I woke up scared in the middle of sleep paralysis. I was dreaming that there was someone in the room watching us sleep, just standing at the foot of our beds. I tried to call my ex and I could not speak or move. I tried to see the person but I could only see a shadow. After been struggling for a while with the feeling of paralysis, I finally managed to wake up. I sat on the bed and looked around but there was no one. I got up to check if the door was still closed and everything was normal. I went to the bathroom and saw that my ex was still sleeping in the bed next to me. I didn't want to wake him up because of a bad dream. So I just left my phone unlocked to have some light and tried to continue sleeping. After a while I woke up because I heard someone calling my name. It was my ex and he told me that there was someone in the room watching us. I woke up scared. I went to his bed and he was between asleep and awake. I asked him what was wrong, and after a while, he turned to see me with his eyes wide open and told me I had a nightmare. There was someone standing right in front of my bed. It was just what I had dreamed a few moments ago. I didn't say anything to him and we just lay down, both of us in the same bed trying to sleep. But I couldn't do it, and while I was still awake for some reason the room got very hot. Contrary to what people say that ghosts make the temperatures drop, our room felt like hell. We were literally sweating. My ex got up and opened the door and it was like the North Pole outside, cold and covered in fog. We didn't understand why our room was so hot, but he just moved to the other bed. The heat made it impossible for us to sleep together, and he fell asleep again. I didn't close an eye for the rest of the night. In the morning when the sun came up, the room was cold again, with a normal temperature like outside. My ex woke up and we went out to have breakfast and I told her about my dream, that we had just had the same dream, and the waitress listened to us and said very casually, "Did something strange happen to you guys in the room? Other people who have stayed in that room always tell us that they feel strange things at night. We think it's a ghost of an Indian." And I just kept looking at her without saying anything but thinking UMTF. And she gives us that room and then says that so calmly. My ex just laughed and said it was just a nightmare. We left that place, and I never had a similar experience again. 2 people having the same sleep paralysis. I have never heard of that. It has not happened to me again and I hope it continues that way.